Hello everybody. Today we're going to go back to our map piece generator and remember how we were making map pieces? Well, I don't want people to laugh at me, so it was like somewhere at part 5 of the playlist. The way we were generating the map pieces we were saving pre-made map pieces, like for example the bridge over here. We were saving the bridge like it was a pre-made thing. So we don't want that. We don't want to generate it because I came up with a mock-up for the very first for the map that we're going to be using for our first game mode, the last stand. Now I'm not gonna discuss the concept of the last stand yet, the game mode, but you know, this would be crazy if we were gonna do what we did for the bridge and do the same thing here. Like, we would have to save this piece and then save this piece and then save a piece like this and then save a piece like that, but we don't want to do that. What we want to do today is we want to procedurally generate, because you know it's blocks of size 64, which is pretty easy to generate. So we're going to procedurally generate this map instead of saving information like, you know, this is going to be this is going to be stairs 1. Now there's going to be a different type of stairs. It's going to be this stairs 2, or we're going to have a bridge. Like, okay, this is going to be bridge 1. Like, that'd be very tedious and too much work. So what we're going to do today is just generate procedurally arbitrary size pieces. So for example, we're going to have this method, we're going to call it gen quad, and this quad is going to have how many rows? 1, 2, 3 rows, and how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. So we're going to gen quad 4 rows and 5 columns. So we're going to write this method gen quads so that we can generate pieces of arbitrary width and height. So without further ado, let's get on to it. So what we're going to do is call it public static map piece. It's going to return a map piece, and we're going to call it gen quad. Now Boolean, is it going to be a filler or not? What I mean by this is, by filler, is it going to have platform information? So if we generate a quad, okay, gen quad 2 rows, 8 columns. Is it going to save platform information? So if we say filler equals true, no, it's not going to generate platform information. It's not going to save platform information. But in this case, yes, we do want to save platform information, because hey, you know, here we want to, this is a platform, right? But filler is equal to true, meaning we don't want to generate a platform information if it's something like over here in the inside of this, right? This is not a platform, it's just a filler. It's in the inside, so it's not going to save platform information. So that's all that is. Now we're also going to have an integer width type. Now with this width type, I realized that we need to have two types of pieces. See, in here we have piece 1. Piece 0. Piece 0 has, you know, it's 64 by 64 dimensions. But I actually realized that we need another one. We need another variation. So I created this piece 14, and piece 14 is nothing but piece 0 but half of the width. They're both the same height, but their width, but piece 14's width is half that of piece 0's width. Now I needed this because of the bridge. if we take a look here, we see that, well, this is the bridge, right? We have this bridge here, piece 1. And we say, okay, well, what's going to happen here? How are we going to generate this thing, this slim column? Well, this slim column, as well as the column that we need to fill this, is nothing but, it's going to be the same height as this quad, but half of the width. So that's all that is. That's what's going to, the width type is going to be. So we're going to have two width types. We're going to have two types of quads. And let's just create documentation for this. So filler, are we going to save platform info? Width type, we're going to say 0 is piece is 64, the width, which is piece 0. 1 is width of 32, which is piece 14. And of course, we're going to have int columns, int rows. Of course, we still need our float offset x and float offset y. Now, this method is really very simple. It's not hard at all. So we need a map piece, and of course, we need to translate piece.translate to offset x and offset y, and then return the piece. And now, what should the width of our map piece be? Well, this is very simple. First of all, let's decide our width. What is our width? Now, width type equals 0. Then our width is 64. Otherwise, our width is 32. Now, all this is going to be the width times the amount of columns, right? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. And then 64 times the amount of rows, right? I mean, well, yeah, okay. 64 because we only have, we don't have a variation in which we only have one type of, we only have two types of quads, both of which have the same height. So that's why it's 64 here, and not, we're not deciding, oh, what should the height be. Okay, so now we have our map piece. We're going to save platform information. Now, if it's not a filler, we're going to save platform information. So all we're going to do is piece dot horizontal equals a new float, and we're only going to be saving one platform information. So we need 3. Now piece horizontal 0 is going to be equal to -1. This is supposed to be 0, and this is x1. Now this is supposed to be 0, but we're just adding some padding just to make sure that nothing falls off the map. Piece 1 is going to be the y value, which is piece dot rectangle, that height. That's the topmost of our quad that we generated. Now 2, it's going to be equal to a piece dot rect dot width, our width that we saved in our map piece. Remember, that rectangle is available with the width and height. So the width plus 1 for some padding. And this is going to be x2. And this is going to be y2. But if it's a filler, this is going to return true, but negate it false, so we're not going to initialize our horizontal, meaning there's no platform information. Now let's save the regions, the textures, and their coordinates. So piece.regions. How many do we need? We need atlas, region, we need column, times rows. That's how many regions. What? Oh. So we need columns times rows amount of quads, because check this out. Not you. If we were generating, say a 2 by 3, if we were generating a 2 by 3, we would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 textures, meaning 1, 2, meaning 3 times 2. Column times rows. That's how many atlas regions we need. And of course, we need the same amount of x coords equals new float just piece regions dot length, and the same thing for y coords. Now we're almost done. All we need to do now is populate this. So what we're going to do is create a temporary atlas region. We're going to call it region because we need to decide, depending on our width type, what type of so if our width type is 0, again we're going to use tiles 0 because we set it here. Piece 0 if it's 0, piece 14 if it's 32, if it's width type 1. Otherwise, if it's not 0, it's going to be tiles 14. So let's generate, let's actually populate it now. For int I equals 0 and x equals 0, I less than the columns. We're going to increment I, and of course x plus equals our width. Right? This is going to take care of our columns. And then for, this is going to be a double for loop, a simple double for loop. For j equals 0, y equals 0, sure it's a comma, j plus plus, sorry, j less than the amount of rows. We're going to increment j, and of course we're going to increment y by 64. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to create this c. Int c is going to be equal to I plus times rows plus j, and then you're going to see what this means. This is going to mean the index of the array, the index of where we are at in the array. So C is equal to region, because again they're all the same tiles. Region x coords is nothing but float y, float x, make sure this is y, and c. Okay, what is this c? Well, check it out. If we were generating a 2 column by 4 rows, I mean a 2 column by 3 rows, we're going to go like this. Okay, so in the beginning I is equal, so where are we at in the array? We want to go this way. Oh my god. We want to traverse the array in this order. We want to start here, then go here. Sorry, it's going to be like this. So we're going to start here, and then we're going to go here, and then start here. So it's going to be, this is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right? So in the beginning, C is equal to, in the beginning, so this is right over here, I equals 0, J equals 0, right? So C equals to 0. What is this? I equals 0, J equals 1. C equals 1. Okay, what is this? I equals 1 and J equals to 0. So I times the amount of rows, which is 2. I times 2. 1 times 2 equals 2. Plus 0, which is J. What about here? I equals 2, J equals 2. C is equal to 3. So, that's all we're doing here, and it works. So now we are done with our GenQuad. Now we can generate arbitrary size quads. But that's not the only thing we want to procedurally generate, right? We also want to procedurally generate, fences, or whatever you call this. We also want to procedurally generate stairs, right? So now, first, let's procedurally generate stairs so that we can have arbitrary size stairs. So for example, this, right? So we're gonna have two types of stairs. We're gonna have stairs which slope is the slope is positive, and we have a stairs that the slope is negative, going down. Okay, and of course we want to save slope information. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to call it this public static map piece gen stairs. Now we're still gonna keep this get piece. So we've already created bridge 1. Might as well keep that, right? We might want to use it over and over again. But we also want to have the ability to procedurally generate things, so we don't have to save a bunch of pre-made pieces, which is very tedious. So gen stairs, what we're gonna do. So we have two types of stairs. Int type, right? We have, it's either going to be this stairs with that kind of thing, or we're going to have this stairs with that kind of railing, or whatever you call that thing. So we have two types. It's either going to be piece 3 or piece 4, or it's going to be piece 7 or piece 8. So let's just param type. This is going to be so 0 is either going to be piece, as we said, 7 or piece 8. 1 is going to be, now these numbers 0 or 1 is just going to be the parameter that we're going to be passing in. Instead of creating a public static final integer, let's just keep it to 0 or 1 and just save documentation for it, so that whenever we need reference, hey, it's there. And 1 is going to be 3 or 4, piece 3 or 4, corresponding to this, piece 3 or 4. Now we're going to have an orientation. Now the orientation, so 0, we're going to say downwards, is negative slope. 1 is positive slope. Okay? That's going to be the orientation. And so we need, again, int columns, int rows, Then of course float offset x and float offset y. And let's just copy and it's over here. And then of course piece.translate. Now, what is the width and height of our map piece? It's a little different. So 64 times the columns, right? What is the height? 64 times the rows. But that's not all. If we take a look at over here, we have to take into account this thing over here. Because if we do this, we're only gonna, our height, the topmost of our piece is gonna end over here, meaning it's not gonna render, well, it's gonna render that, but what I'm saying is the topmost of our piece is gonna end over here. But that means that if we are over here, right, if this is our this is where we are at in the map, that means we're not overlapping this. So that means we're not going to draw this entire texture. But once we go here, once we finally overlap it, we're going to draw the entire texture. Now, do you see what's wrong with that? Meaning at this point, we're not going to see this thing over here, this roof or whatever you call that thing. But once we go here, we're all of a sudden this thing appears, this big thing appears. So what we're gonna do is just add another 64 here, because guess what? No, not 64. We need to add more than 64 actually. Okay, this is 64 at height 64. So we need to add 104, because the height of this from here to here is 104. So we need to add 104. Now again, we do have two types. We do have, P7 as well. So let's check out how much we should add if it's P7 or 8. Cancel. So we're going to add how much in here? Let's say amount. You know what? It doesn't matter, right? Screw it. Yeah, fine. So we're gonna add oh shoot, what am I doing here? It's not supposed. Oh my god, are you stupid, Vandolph? I think I messed up somewhere. Did I mess up somewhere? No, I didn't. Okay, good. Not over here, asshole. Over here. Gen stairs. Look properly. Look where you're. Frick, man. Okay. So if the type is equal to 0, then it's either going to be 7 or 8, meaning we need to add in plus here, meaning we need to add in 100 and 104. Otherwise, how much are we going to add in? Otherwise, we're going to add in how much? So from here, to here. And remember, we're only going to be adding it to the topmost, so we're only going to be adding it once. So this is at height 32. So 96, so 32. We're going to add 32. If it's not piece 7 or 8. Okay? All right. That is it. Okay. Now that we have the piece, again, we're going to do this. We're going to save the platform information. Info. Now there's no such thing as a filler. This has to save platform information, or rather slope info. Okay, so the slope information, if we take a look here. Okay. So we need to know where we're going to begin. Well, we only have one slope, so this is the entire thing right here. So what we're going to do is simple. Check this out. Piece dot slope equals new float. And remember, the way we're saving floats, slopes, we need 4 points. Piece dot slope. I mean 4 floats, not points. 0. What are we going to put here? One, 2, 3. Remember, this is x1. This is y1. This is x2. This is y2. Now, okay. Now what we're gonna do is okay. What is x1? X1 is always gonna be 0. Now, what is y1? Okay, depending on the orientation, y1 can either be up here or it can either be 0. So depending on the orientation, so orientation equals 0, meaning it's a negative slope. So this case is portrayed by this. So what is it going to be? It's going to be all the way at the top. But don't get confused. It's not going to be the height of our map piece. Remember, it's not going to be the height of our map piece, because we have this thing. We added to it. Okay? It's not going to be the height of our map piece. It's going to be 64 times the amount of rows. Otherwise, it's going to start at 0.0f. Right? Now, x2 is always going to be, and again, we need to add some padding. If it's all the way at the top, we're going to add 1 padding. No, we don't need to add padding. Sorry. Right, we don't need to add padding. Never mind. So that's good. And then what about x2? What about x2? So it's going to be the just the width of our so it's just going to be the width of our so it's just going to be the width of our piece.rect.width. Now again, in here we're gonna is orientation that, and we're just gonna swap it. And there we go. We saved the platform information. That's it. Now let's work on our tiles, on our not tiles, but on our textures. So what I'm going to do is create an atlas region, temporary atlas region, call it region, set it to null. Now we have two types. Remember, if type equals 0, we're going to set our region equal to, well, it also depends on orientation, right? Okay, so what's going to happen if our type is equal to 0? So it's either going to be 7 or 8. But what if our orientation is 0, meaning negative slope? So from 7 or 8, we're going to need to choose one. We're going to choose 8 if it's negative slope. So tiles 8. Otherwise, it's tiles 7. Okay. And then else it's not going to be type that, but it's going to be either 3 or 4. So from 3 or 4, if negative slope, if orientation 0, we're going to say piece 3. Otherwise, piece 4. Okay. Now we're going to need to populate this. So from left to right, so we're going to say int start y. It's going to be equal to, we're just going to copy and paste this. If orientation equals 0, blah, 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 blah. And make sure this is integer. And integer increment y. Copy and paste. It's either going to be negative 64 or positive 64. Now for integer I equals 0, x equals 0, y equals start y, I less than the amount of columns, oh, and I guess we need to initialize our right here. So we're going to save this many columns because check it out. If our height, if the amount of rows we want to generate is 3 and the amount of columns, sorry, so this portrays 3 columns and 3 rows. Meaning what? How many textures do we need to save? Well, that's just the amount of columns, right? That's really it. So we want to save this much amount of columns. So as a matter of fact, what we need to do here is instead of columns and rows, because this is going to have to be in a square matrix, not a square matrix, but a square dimension, meaning that the row and the width, the row and column must be the same, because it wouldn't make any sense, right? If we're going to save 2 rows and 3 columns, like, that doesn't make any sense. So what we're going to do is just force, so instead of columns, we're just say size, int size, and delete rows. Since the column must be the same with the rows. So size, 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 and size. Right? I++. What is this? Start y. Okay. Now, all we're going to do here, I++, and of course, we're going to increment our x with by 64. And then our y with plus equals y, increment y. Okay? And all we're going to do here is, of course, we're going to pass an I here. We're going to pass in the region that we decided to use. And in here it's nothing but float x and float y. Okay, what does this mean? Right, our start y, if the slope is if the slope is negative, is going to be all the way at the top, which is 64 times the size. Otherwise, it's going to start at the bottom. Now let's look at the case, the top, right? So our start y is going to, our initial y value is going to be over here. Whoa. Our initial y value is going to be over here. That is wrong. Our initial y value has to be the start y. So we're going to need to subtract minus 64 from here. Why? Because if we don't subtract minus 64, our start y is going to end up being over here. Well, we don't want to draw the texture over there. We want to draw the texture over here, right? So that's this all the way at the top minus 64. That's all it is. Okay. And, you know, if this is just a very simple for loop. I don't know how, it's so simple I don't even know how to explain it. So they're all going to have the same texture. Region x coordinates, we're just going to keep, no matter what the slope, negative or positive, our x is going to start at 0, and we're just going to increment it by 64. 64 because this is the width of this. Right? It is, right? Yes, it is. 64 by 64. And depending on, whoops. So if we're here, our next y value is going to be what? Minus 64. Then minus 64. And that's what we decided increment y was going to be. It's either going to be negative 64, no, we're going to subtract 64 because we started at the top, or we're going to add 64 because we started at the bottom. That's really all it is. And now we are done with genstairs. That is really it. Now we're going to do one more thing, just one more thing. Well, two more things actually, but first, before I take a break, I wanna be able to generate arbitrary lengths of this, right? Of this, whatever you call it. What is this? Anyways, that is piece number 9. So we want to generate arbitrary lengths of piece 9. So we're going to do it. So we're going to call it gen railing. What do you call that thing? Gen railing. Gen I don't know what is that called? Gen terrace? This thing. Gen what? Gen guide? I'm just gonna call it gen railing. I'm just gonna call it gen railing. I don't care. And again, gen railing is gonna take in how many? Well, what's the size? You know, how many railings do we want? So we can generate arbitrary lengths of railings just by calling this one method. So we can generate this whole thing by calling just one method, just like we can generate this whole quad over here by calling one method, or generating this whole entire step of stairs by calling just one method. Okay, so that's all we're going to do right now. We're going to create another method, public static map piece. Call it gen railing. I don't even know what the proper name for that is. Gen railings. And we only have one type of railing, so all we're going to do is int size and float offset x and float offset y. Of course, same deal here. Now the railings is not going to be 64. No, the width is going to be 64. However, the height is not going to be 64. So this is going to be, the width is going to be 64 times the size. The height is going to be fixed. And the height is going to be what? 104. And I guess it should depend on the texture. Okay. Now, at some point, we might want another type of railing. Oh, we do have two types of railings. We do. Well, we have these things at the end. Oh, we have piece 2, which is another type of railing. What is the width of piece 2, by the way? 118 by 104. Very interesting. Piece 2. Should we generate like piece 2 or something like that? No. So this is strictly for railing, which is piece 9. Height. Since it's piece 9, let's make this tiles. it's piece 9, right? Yes, it is piece 9. So tiles 9 dot original width height. Sorry, that's it. Now we're not going to save any platform information because, well, this is not a platform. Or should we? Should we save platform information? Because that's very interesting, because we can save platform information. You know what? Let me just test this out. Let me just see if we should save platform information or not. There's errors. Oh, we can't test it. Run history main. No. Never mind. So just comment these two out. We're going to initialize them in Intro Selection Manager over here. But okay, let's go back to our map piece generator. I was wondering, you know what? Let me just pause the video here, and I'm gonna take a little break, and after the break, I'm going to decide whether. No, you know what? No, never mind. No, let's finish this. We're not going to save platform information for this. This is strictly for background purposes, or foreground, just background purposes. Okay, so gen railings. Let's take a look at our map. We want to be able to generate. So it's just going to be like a gen quad, really. So as a matter of fact, let's just go to gen quad, and we're just going to copy and paste this over here, man. That's it. That's it. Now instead of that, it's going to be size, and there's no width type, so, and it's not a double for loop. It's just one for loop. Size I++, and just 64 for the X because it's uniform. Okay, that's really it. And so what we're going to do is inside the for loop, or rather copy this. It's nothing but going to be tiles 9. Y coord is nothing good. It's just going to be 0. Okay, and then we finished our gen railings. For now, I'm going to take a little break, and then since we now have almost, well, pretty much all of the things that we need except for the bridge, we're going to do the bridge later. For now, we're going to generate this without the bridge. So let me just delete the bridge here. We're going to generate this map section. And I'm going to save this map section. I called it map section section 1 for the thing that we're going to, for the last stand, we're going to have 3 map sections. So this is just the first map section. And we're going to generate this using the procedural methods that we created. Until then, I'll be right back. Okay, hello everyone, we're back. And now let's procedurally generate this map section, that is. So without further ado, let us do it. Okay. So we're going to get out of our map piece generator. And we're going to go to our map here. So in here I said, okay, well, I don't know if I showed this in the video or not, but this is basically what happened. Okay, so what I did was I created a static final integer that will indicate which map we're going to generate. So as you can see there, public map int mode, right? And again, this is going to be the parameter that we're going to pass in our intro selection manager when we initialize the map for KF Nekko. Okay, so again, what I'm going to do is, well, in case that we want the last stand, we're going to init last stand. And then we need a random, of course. Just put the random up there. Now, init last stand, we're first going to work on the first section. Okay. Now, what is the width and height of our section? Well, let's say for now that the height of our section is, well, it's actually only up to here. View snap to guides. It's not snapping to guides. Come on. Okay. Let me control. No, just image canvas size, and rather than 1,600, it's actually just 1,504. So the width is 1,504. Resize it, then layer to image size. Okay. This is our map section. Call it map 1 section 1. So let's get to it. Okay, first we got to understand which should we draw first. Now these columns are going to be in the background, so we should draw them first before anything else. Okay, so what do we want to do here? We're going to draw this first column over here, up to here. So we want a gen column. Okay, let's first get to that. Right over here. Gen quad. So section 1. Oh, and the dimensions of the width is going to be, first let's say we're going to start off with 0, 0. The width, let's say, is it's 1504. The height, let's just say for now, is 1,600. We don't know the exact height yet, but okay. So no, we're not going to get the bridge, but we are going to map piece generator dot gen quad and you know what, because I'm OCD, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to map piece generator and I'm going to say gen quads with an S because I'm OCD. I'm sorry guys. So this is just going to be a filler. Yes, it's a filler. The width type is going to be, let's look at the documentation. Width type is 0. See how amazing documentation is. And gen quads. Okay. Columns. How many columns do we want? We only want one column. How many rows? How many rows are there? Let's see. I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3. It's going to be annoying. Let me just clarify this by copy. Whoops. No. Copy and paste. Paste over here. Paste over here. Over here. Over here. 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 All right. And then make a copy of this. We're gonna, so that's clear how many there are. Interesting. Ugh. Just copy and paste this starting from here. There we go. All right, so what's the height? So how many rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 rows. So 19 rows, but we don't want to draw all of them. You know, we don't want to put them in one map piece. So what we're gonna do, because see, the way we're doing it now is we're not checking for each texture, for each for each texture in the piece. We're not checking if it overlaps with our rectangle. Should we add that in there? But that means that if we do that, we're going to check for every single piece of texture inside a piece, which is inside a map section. So we can do it. We can do this. Check it out. So we have our map section. Our map section has a rectangle. Inside our map section, we have a bunch of map pieces. And again, we only draw whatever is, if the camera overlaps this map section, we're going to draw its pieces. What about for the map piece? And here we said that, okay, if this piece overlaps the camera, then we're going to draw every texture that is in this piece, every atlas region that is in this piece. Meaning if we have a piece that has 19 atlas regions, we're going to draw all of them. We're going to call the draw call 19 times. So do we want that? Or do we want to check? Do we want a rectangle for each region? And then check. Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look here. This is the draw call, because I mean, what does it take to so the draw call is pretty expensive. Okay, now let's take a look which outweighs what. So let's take a look at the implementation of overlaps. So overlaps means that we're going to do, how many operations are we going to do? We're going to do four conditionals, and this is really all it is, you know. Now what's going to happen is, and they're negating it, right? If it's outside, right? Okay. So that's how many operations? Okay, addition is one operation, then comparison another, that's two operations. In assembly, one reference, two reference, three reference, and then four, and then five. So 5 assembly code. But so yeah, this is pretty cheap. This is relatively cheap compared to the draw call. So now, do we want to do it? Like not just the region X coords, but also instead of just, you know, region X coords, store the rectangles as well. Do we want to do it? If we have a piece, this is really interesting. But then it's going to be, I think we should. I think we should. This is pretty interesting. So instead of this, should we? I'm thinking right now. But then we're going to have to change the implementation. I mean, a little bit. Change it a little bit. Not too much, but just a little. So instead of an array of this, it's going to be an array of rectangles. Should we do it? should we do it? Still thinking right now. I don't know. I don't know if it should do it. So what I'm saying is, okay, for each I already explained it, so I don't need to explain it again. You know what? I think we should. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. So this should be a rectangle, array of rectangles. So we're just gonna call this region rects. I'm gonna delete that. So in here, instead of this, we got region. Whoops, no, region rects dot I dot x, and this is dot y. And now in here, what we're gonna do is dot x dot y. And while we're at it, we might as well pass in the complete parameter, so that if you take a look in the draw method, there's actually two types. This calls that, and we to avoid having to, for optimization, if we use this draw method instead of using this draw method right away, this is going to call math.abs twice. So, and get region height. So we're going to provide the full parameter, the four parameters, since we have it anyways. The width and height. Now calling this will avoid having to call math.abs, which is pretty good. Just a little piece of optimization there. Just a little bit. Okay, but we're only going to draw this. Now we're only going to draw this if region rects I dot overlaps rects I dot overlaps kf Nekko dot camera dot rect. And that's it. Alright, and in our over here in our map piece generator, we're going to get some errors because we did change the representation of a map piece. So instead of this, we're going to have a new array of rectangle. Oh geez, that's a hell of a lot. Ha 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 ha. I'm sorry guys, I'm just oh no, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. You might think, oh, there's so many errors, but watch, we're gonna let Eclipse do the work for us. For now, don't panic. So region x coords, okay, dot region rects. There we go. Rectangle. Bring it in here. Make sure it's the LibGDX one. And just delete the region y coords. Okay, and that's really it. Now what do we do? So all we're gonna do is control find this, and then we're gonna replace it with this. Replace all, and there we go. And then what we're gonna do is just this, and then delete it by replacing all. Now it's not there anymore. Now we're going to control find this and replace it with region rects I dot x or rather just this thing over here. Okay, and we're going to do it for regions y There we go. Or as a matter of fact, just copy, not copy, but we're going to replace it with piece dot region rects. Same thing for the y. And we're just going to put the so in here all we're going to do is dot x. Should we, should we do this at all? I think we should do it before we translate. No, this is a necessary step. This is necessary. Frick. It's a lot of work, but I think it's worth it. Okay, fine. It is a lot of work, but it's worth it. You guys can skip this part, but I'm gonna record the thing anyways, just so that you can see the pain that I have to go through sometimes. I hope I don't make any mistakes. I'm just gonna do the x's first. Dot x here. Dot x. Dot x. Dot x. There's probably a better way of doing this. I mean, I know we can just go to map piece, and then instead of we can just keep the region x coords and keep the region y coords, and then initialize the rectangles here. But that's kind of a waste of space, having to allocate space for region, for an array of floats, even though we're not going to ever use it afterwards. So in here dot y. Good thing we only have one saved thing over there. So this is dot x, and then this is dot y. And there we go. We are done on our. Oh, we still have one more error, which is over here. Oh no, we're not done yet. I'm so stupid. This is dot y. We're not actually done yet. We still haven't initialized the rectangle. Oh no! Oh no! Okay, we need to initialize our rectangle here. Well, first we need to say that piece dot region rects I equals new rectangle of u 0.0f and piece dot regions 9 dot original. What's up? Original width and original height. Now we're done. And I guess it'll cast it by itself, so make everything integer. So okay, now we have a new rectangle. Now we don't even need this. And then that's it for our gen railings. What about for our we need to do the same thing here. What is it? X and Y. So this is just X and Y. Instead of tiles 9, we have region. What else we have? We have gen quads here. We're going to do the same thing. Okay, XY region. Great. Oh shoot! Make sure this is C. Did we have to do a C there? No, we don't. Okay. Right. So we have our quads, our gen stairs, and our gen railings. Okay. Looks good, 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 good. And I don't know what I'm going to do for get bridge. I really don't know what I'm going to do. Should I just delete get bridge? Because this is a pain in the neck having to create rectangles for each one of them. It's a pain in the neck. It's a pain in the neck. Region rect. So I know. Fine, let's keep this. Let's keep get bridge. I am so tempted to just delete get bridge 1 because I don't think we're ever going to use it again. You know what? Alright, guys, we're going to do a bold move here. There's not going to be such thing as get bridge anymore. As a matter of fact, we're going to delete get piece. Let's delete this. We don't need it anymore. Everything is going to be procedurally done. So this is it, you know? This is so pro. We are pro, and this is it. Everything is procedurally done, baby. Okay, there's no more bridge 1. What are you talking about, bridge 1? There's no such thing. We're going to procedurally do everything. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going crazy because I just want to get this done. I want to get this done before tonight, and then, well, at least the first mode, the gameplay mode, which is Last Stand, so that I can have something to show for, man. So that, you know, the guys at OGA can play something by tomorrow, and my friends too, on the subways. All right. So we deleted it. We deleted this whole thing, right? Because it doesn't matter anymore. We're gonna procedurally do everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right. And we're done there. And then let's go back to our map piece. And then our map piece, we did it. Okay, we are back. And now we are ready to generate this map procedurally. Awesome. Okay, so let's close our map piece. We're good. We're good. Now we're going to generate. So first let's generate this piece over here. How many rows does it have? It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 pieces, 19 rows. And you know, again, I mentioned this earlier in the series, but I'm gonna say it again. I'm doing this manually now, but I do have on my to-do list to make a map editor so that I can just create this map and then control file save as .map file, specially made for my game, so that instead of me using tiled, because I don't know I don't know why I'm so against using tiled. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being stupid, probably. But I don't know. With this, I feel like I have more control because now I have all of this information. I can offset it on update and then make like a moving platform. Right? I can now make a moving platform. Right? And as a matter of fact, if I have time, I'll implement something like that. But I doubt I will. But however, let's so we have 19 rows. Offset X. Where are we going to start off in the scene? So let's say this is our whole scene, right? Let's just say this is our whole scene. Well, this is just the map section. I think You know what? Yeah. Sorry. What we're gonna do, since this is gonna be one map section, and we're gonna and this is not the coordinates that we're gonna be getting here are not the coordinates, are not the scene coordinates. They're not, because this section might be, I don't know, in the middle of the scene. It might be starting at 1000. So what we gotta do is we're gonna generate a lot of map sections. So in here, what we're gonna do is to do. Once we're done with creating our map sections, now everything, all the points that we're going to be storing is going to be relative to 0. So 0, 0, everything in here. So let's make a note of that. So we need to translate our all of our pieces as well. Let's see. So instead of doing this, what we're going to do is say, okay, map section 1, map section 1 equals new map section. All of it, all map sections will start at 0, 0. Now, to do, then offset the map section to world/scene coordinates in here. And then finally, we're going to add that in our sections. Sections.add. Section 1. And then let's say that section 1 dot offset. So we're going to create another method. Section 1 dot one second. Float x, float y, pieces, rectangle. One moment, please. One second while I get this figured out. Okay, so what we're gonna do is it doesn't really matter if you add it or not. This is just gonna add, well, we're gonna add this, section 1, a pointer to a map section. Doesn't matter if it's after or before we add in things to the map section. But so what we're gonna do is we're gonna say dot offset by an amount 0.0 f 0.0 f, so that we can keep these map sections right over here and offset them and put them anywhere in the map that we want. So we're going to create this method in here, and all we are going to do is we're going to for int I equals 0, I less than pieces dot, oh, and before we forget, we have to offset our rectangle as well. dot x plus equals rect dot y plus equals offset x and offset y. Pieces dot size I plus plus, then pieces dot get I dot offset dot offset. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, that's why. Yeah, my bad, my bad, my bad. Not offset, but translate. Sorry about that. Oh, and this should be translate, not offset. Translate. That's the same. Oh, don't want to get technical. I just like translate because it sounds better. Okay. All right. Now let's add in stuff to our map section. So this is our map section 1. Section 1. So section 1 dot add. Come on. What? Oh, sorry. Section 1 dot pieces 0. It is, no, it's an array. Section 1 dot get, no, dot pieces dot add. We're going to add a new map piece. So map piece generator dot genquads. It is a filler. The width type is what is the width type again? Width type is 0. Columns we said is 1, 19 rows. Offset is relative to our map section map. Remember, we're going to save this. It is, what is it? X and Y. What is the X and Y of this? Right over here, it is X is 128 and Y is equal to 1472, but so 1600 minus 1472 is going to give us this height. So calculator, 1600 minus 1472 is equal to 128. Okay. And then we're going to gen more quads. Oh, and I guess then that means if we overlap this rectangle over this piece, what's going to happen is we're going to check 19 times. We're gonna have to check 19 rectangles, which is pretty expensive. So what I'm going to do is divide this into 8. So just make it 8 rows. Sorry, and let's just make it 10 right here. Okay, and then since that's 10, we need the other 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then we're going to start over here. Okay. We need 9 more. We're going to do the same thing. Starting over there. So we're going to get gen quads. It is a filler. We only need 9. And the offset is going to be same x, however different y. The y value now is, you know what? I'm gonna take out my calculator, and I'm gonna use it because I do have a calculator, a physical one, which is a pretty good idea. Since we're doing everything manually, again, I do not intend to do this manually forever. My small project on my to-do list is coming up when I feel like it. So 1,600 minus 832, and this can easily be programmed in instead of us doing it manually. 768. For now, we have a deadline. We got to finish this tonight, man. Tonight is I have to finish this tonight. So, you know, we could upload it on Google Play, in DB, at least the first level, the first game mode. Okay, now that we have that, let's check it out. Now it's gonna generate this whole thing. Okay, next one is over here. We want to gen quads. How many we have? We have 1. So we need, how many we need? We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, geez. I'm gonna delete this and I'm gonna replace it with this because it's evenly done. Okay. How many do we need here? We need this was 19, right? 19, okay. Subtract. So 18, 17, 16. We need 16 here. Since we need 16, what I'm going to do is divide it to 8 pieces, 8 apiece. Okay. Now, the x offset is going to be the same for both, but it's going to be 320. The y offset for the first one is in here, which is 1280, 320, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need this y value over here. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need this y value. I think we made a mistake on the other one, by the way. 7, 6, 8, which is 832. I'm going to check the other one again. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I should really be using tiled. I really should be using tiled. 832. Sure. 7, 6, 8. No, we got it right. Okay. Now let's gen this next piece over here. It has, let's see, this had 16 from here. So 16, 15, 14, 13. So this is going to have 13. We're going to do the first 6, and then this one's 7. What is the x value? X position is 512 for both of them. Y value for the first one is right over here, which is at 1,600 minus 1088, which is 512. It's so annoying because the GIMP ruler is the Y grows downwards, and it's frustrating. But the first one is 512. The second one, which is after 6 above, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right over here. So we start over there. This is the one with 6, right? Yeah. Which is at 896. Okay. Now we gotta gen this next one over here, which has 12 pieces. So let's plug it in here. And you know what, for this one, I guess just do one. Why not? Plug it into one. This is going to have 12 pieces. And it's going to start off at x of 704. And y of 1024 minus 1024, 576. Okay. And then we're going to do the same one. We're going to do it 2 more times. One over here. Same height, but different x value. X value is at 896. X value for this next one is at 1088. Okay. And then this next one is going to be how many quads? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ugh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Hey, at least we're practicing arithmetic. It's 14. Wait. At x value of 1280. Height of 448. Okay. Alright, so we've done the columns right there. Now let's do the stairs. The stairs. Alright. So what is the size of this? Up to here. So we need stairs. So I'm just gonna mark this as columns. It's gonna be the stairs. Okay. Gen stairs. Sorry about this. Gen stairs. I want piece 3 or 4, which is what? 3 or 4 is 1, so type 1. Orientation is positive slope. Size is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Size is 9. 9, and no offset. And you know what? Just to prove to you that this works, what we're going to do is we're going to go to our intro selection manager. Well, first of all, let's put our hero's location for now. This is also going to be done in intro selection manager. Init player. So as a matter of fact, no, it has to be here. Never mind. Intro screen, where is it? Intro screen, blah 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 blah. Intro screen. Okay, as a matter of fact, init player HUD. 1 second. No. Screw it. Init player is this right here. What do we need for our HUD? Right, we're just going to set location. Right. This we still need this though. Okay. As far as the race. Okay. So instead of our map being initialized here, what we're going to do is go to our intro selection manager, initialize map and background. If last stand contains this, so we're going to say kf Nekko dot map equals new map of map dot last stand. Then also initialize the background. The background, because we need the map width. So blah, blah, blah. You know what? View height, background, original width, the map dot width. So what we're going to do here is set public. We're going to create a method for this so we know that we need to call it. Public void set offset ratio. And we're just going to say to be called after map is created. Okay, so we're going to leave background here because at this point, if we put this thing here, this is going to give us a null pointer exception because map does not yet exist. So we're going to go to our intro selection manager. We're going to say, okay, kf Nekko dot background dot set offset ratio, or rather, let's do this in the map right here. So init last stand. After that, kf Nekko background set offset. Oh, no, never mind, guys. We'll do it here at intro selection manager. We're not done with the section 1 yet, but I just want to show you that it works. Okay, project, clean it up, run, history, main. And we get a null pointer exception. In here, drawables.getI.draw. What does that mean? Oh, no. Yeah. No, what? In here, in our drawables, that's a null pointer exception. Right here. Map is null. Oh, no. Okay, so we need to initialize our map here. It's true. So we have to say, okay, map equals new map, And what we're going to do actually is, instead of it being here, what we're going to do here is we're going to delete this, and we're going to do this in another method so that we have a pointer to our map and it's not null. So public set level, public void, sorry, right here, and it's going to take in an int mode. Okay, and then that's it. Whoa, where's our background? Okay, and then our intro selection manager, we're not going to create the new map. We're just going to set the map, map.setLevel, map.lastStand. 1 second, I'm getting a phone call. Alright, now let's check it out. See if it actually works. I'm pretty confident that it should. I don't see why it wouldn't work. And we got another null pointer exception. Here, hit platform, so it means that the horizontal is null. If horizontal what is this? Pieces.getI, and you're getting, why would this be null? I'm in a platform, by the way. Section.pieces.getI, this is supposed to be .horizontal. Let me just see if I made the same mistake somewhere else. That was hit platform, hit slope. Okay, we didn't do, okay. Okay, now that we've fixed that, I will bet 10 cents that this will work properly now. I guarantee it. There we go. Whoa, 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 what's going on? What's going on? Interesting. What? Echo? What's going on? Alright, let me just fix this. I don't know what's no, I think I know what's going on. Looks like it's going to be a fun map to play on. Okay, I think I know what's going on. I know what's going on now. I know exactly what is going on now. Trust me on this one. Watch this. I'm sorry, I'm just crazy. I know I'm crazy. You don't need to tell me. We're done in our intro selection manager, but let's go to our map piece generator. When we're generating the slope, we are making a mistake of we made a little bit of a mistake. Slope information. Let's take a look. That was an upward slope. So let's open up. So that was an upward slope. What we're going to do is, so what's happening is, alright, so we're saving, okay, slope starts at 0. If orientation is positive, y is also equal to 0, which is here, which is good. Did I do something that's not supposed to be done? No, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 it's not. No, the slope information is fine. What we made a mistake on is in here, from left to right. Okay, let's take a look at what we are doing here. We're saying that x starts at 0. That's okay. Then we're saying that x plus equals 64. That's okay too. Y plus equals increment y. But where do we start off? Our start y. Our start y in here. I'm stupid. In here, what we're going to do is not minus 64 on all of them. It's just going to be over here. Oh, hello everybody. We're back, and I just took a little break there. I actually saw the Dark Man Rises. It was pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. Yeah. So now we fixed what was wrong over there, which was the parentheses. Now it should work properly. And there we go. Perfect. Ha 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 ha. And these guys keep falling because it's okay. It's not a bug. Ha 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 ha. Look at that. Yeah. Oh, what? How do we? Interesting. That's very interesting. We fall off the platform? Why? That is weird. Huh. Okay. Yeah, we fall off for some reason. Okay. So I guess we know what that means, right? That means that we really have no choice in our location class. So go to our location, and if we're on a slope, we need to change this back to a 4. So now that shouldn't happen anymore. I guess it's not perfect. Yeah, but now we're not falling anymore. So yeah. Oh, we're still falling. Okay, what? Why are we still falling? I don't understand. That is very interesting. Yeah, no. I guess okay. I think I know a solution to this. We're gonna change it back to 0.6 because I think that's good enough. But I think the solution is gonna be on platform. So go to our map components, platform, and just detection offset. Maybe make it to 40. Yep, it works. Okay. See, it kind of feels like we're going to fall off. And as a matter of fact, we do fall off. But because of the detection offset, right? But then, of course, the higher the value of this detection offset is, the thing that we talked about. But you know, this is a small price to pay. I've already explained it, but this is really it. The higher the value, the more robust it will be, yet the more wrong it would look. I don't know how to explain it, but anyways, so it's all good. All right, let's keep that to 0.6. All right, and our map piece generator. So now we're generating this those part of the map. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna generate quads. We're gonna generate a lot of quads. Okay. So we got to generate the inner quads. So we got to generate this whole thing over here. Now, as a matter of fact, I don't think that we need to generate all of this. I think we can just delete some of the quads that will not be seen. And I think that these quads will definitely not be seen. So there's no point in it being there. I think that these quads will also not be seen. Here to here, here. Okay. I think from here, here, here. No, I think this will be seen. So we're gonna end it here. Okay. Over there. Okay. And I think this is all we need. The rest of them will not be seen. Likewise, over here, these things won't be seen. Right over there. So this is our map. Well, the first map section at least. Okay, so let's get to it. What do we need? Oh, geez, it's going to be a pain in the neck, but okay, we need a quad over here. So it's going to be a quad of like that. Okay, so let's get to it. So this quad is going to be a 1 by, so we're going to gen quads. Go back to our map piece generator. And let's close KF Nekko for now so we only have one window open. Alright. So in our, not the map piece generator, but the map. And you know what? I think in here, what we're going to do is in its last stand, this is going to be quite huge. So we have 1 stairs, that's really it. And we have a lot of filler quads. Well, inner quads. Filler quads. Okay. I'm just going to add this to my dictionary because I'm OCD. Okay, section 1 pieces. I need to add a bunch. So I need to gen quads. Gen quads, it is going to be a filler. The width type is going to be 0. Columns is going to be, there's going to be a bunch of 4 columns. Rows is just going to be 1. Offset is, the X offset is 64. And the Y offset is 0. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing how many times? That was just 1 time. We need to so this is good. Now I need to go here. It should be relatively quick. Gen quads true 0 4 1, not going to change. However, this is going to be 64 plus 64, which is 128, and Y is going to be lagging behind by 64. Again, 128 plus 64 gonna be 192, and this is gonna be 128. See, this would be so much easier if we had a GUI to make it in. I mean, that's what tiled is for. So the fact that, oh geez, I am so ridiculous. 192 plus 64 is 256. But I'm having fun though. This is a lot of fun to me. 196 over there. And here we have, what am I doing? Seriously, what am I doing? I could just create a for loop for this. You know what? Inner filler quads. I am so ridiculously stupid. I see a pattern. I couldn't see it before. For int I equal to 0, I less than, how many do we need? Let's check it out. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need 8 of these. Alright, so we're going to create for I less than 8, I plus plus. I failed to see the pattern there. And we're going to say that, okay, we want to start off at 64 for x, so x equals 64, and y starts off at 0. And then we're going to increment x and y plus equals 64, y as well plus equals 64. And now this should generate this, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let me just mark them white. I'm going to mark them white. Okay, and these two. Well, let me just copy and paste this. So I'm going to mark the things that I already finished with white, so I don't get lost. Okay, and now what we're going to do, I also did that. Okay, now what we're going to do, we still need gen quads. We need to do the same thing for over here. So right over here. Sorry, right over here I mean. And I can delete this. I'm pretty sure we're not going to be seeing this. Or maybe we will. Okay, now we need to generate this quad over here. So that's going to be a non-filler. But first let's do the filler quads. Why not? So we're going to generate a filler quad. Is there a pattern here? Do we see a pattern here? From here to here, 3 by 3. What is this? So in here we have a 3 by 3, or rather a 4 by 4. So 4, sorry. By that, by that. You know what? For this, I'm just going to generate by brute force. I mean, why not? And this, guys, by the way, is not a filler quad. This one over here. So we're just going to generate here because we're only doing filler quads for now. But you know what? I'm going to generate filler quads for this one first. Right over here. So these are the filler quads. That's going to be 1 row and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1 row, 7 columns, filler quads. 1 row, 7 columns. This is true. 1 row, 7 columns. Sorry, this is 1 column, 7 columns in 1 row. And offset is at 768. With height of what is this? 448. Okay. So now we can color that off. Now let's do this over here, which is 2 more than that. So what we're going to do is copy and paste. Oh, and for this we can just well, sections. For this we don't need it to be here. Well, actually we don't. Init last stand, but it's going to be after here. Go. Alright, for this one we have this X value, which is 704. 704. Now this has two more columns, which is 9. And it's going to start off at what Y? Well, Y value of 1600 minus 1216, 384. Okay, so now we can right over there. So now we need to gen this. You know what? We can gen this whole thing right here. So we're going to gen this 3 by 3. So it's a 3 by 3. It's a 3 by 3 with x coordinates 1152. Y coordinates of 1600 minus 1408, 192. This should seriously be done with tiled. This is ridiculous. Okay, now we just need these 3 over here, and we're good. We are good to go. You know what? Might as well gen this 2 by 2 quad over here. I'll see the point in. So then next we're going to gen 2 by 2 quad. 2 by 2 quad. Starting off at 1024. At Y coordinate 256. And now let's gen this thing over here. This is going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 column. So 9 column, 1 row. So this is platform. So this is false. It's not a filler. It's actually going to be a platform. So 9 columns in 1 row, starting at x of 576. And height of, is this right? Height of this, which is 512. Okay, now let's check it out. Ah! Whoa, 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 they're falling. Oh, yeah, because they're not being spawned at the right spots. Woo! Yay! Whoa, what's going on? Hey, what's going on? So as you can see, it works, right? Brrr. Sup. Ha 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 ha! Ba 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 pow. Okay, so the way we're gonna spawn the let's just spawn them at the highest possible location. Spawn monsters. I'm gonna spawn them at, instead of 500, we're gonna spawn them at rand. Well, 1,600. Okay, so now let's generate the rest of them. So now we gotta generate this the stairs over here. So we need a so we need to say get stairs. 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 We're gonna put them in the stairs over here. Stairs. Gen stairs. It's gonna be a what is the size? We want type 0. Orientation is negative, and we don't want 9, but we just want size 2. Now it starts at remember, we don't say this is where it starts. We need to say that this is where it starts, right over here. So it starts at x is equal to 1152, 1152, and y, whoa, where'd my quad go? Damn it. And y of, what is that? 448. And now let's take a look. We should have those 2 sets of stairs. Well, what? We fell? How did we fall? Dude, this is insanity. This is madness. You're kidding me, right? How we fall? This is madness. Okay, you know what? I think I know what's going on here. No. We're falling. So I guess we gotta go back to on our platform. Instead of 40, let's make it 50. Screw it, let's make it 50. I really don't want to do it, but Fine, make it 50. And now it shouldn't be falling off, but that's not what we were there for. Oi. What? Okay. Ha 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 ha! Let's jump! Ah! Okay. Before we go on to the bridge, Gen Bridge, you know what? I'm just gonna add a bridge in here. Before we move on to this one over here, which is quite important, really, we're gonna put the terrace. So we're gonna gen railings. Okay. How do you spell it? Railing. Okay, gen railing. Whoops. And just remove the S because I'm OCD. So gen railing without the S. Gen railing. Size is gonna be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Size of 9. Offset X is, what is this? What is this? Oh, sorry, never mind. So offset X is gonna be at 574. Offset Y is at 1088, 512. And now we should have railings. Which is not properly placed. Oh, no. Yeah, my bad. It was not supposed to be there. It was supposed to be at height 576. My bad, guys. Now it should look right. Simple math, I love it. Whoa. What? What is this nonsense? I think I changed something. What is going on here? Oh, shoot. No. I'm talking about the railings. Holy crap, dude. 576 for the railings. Like, what is wrong with me? Jeez. My goodness. Ikuze? There we go. Now we have the railings. So it looking good, looking good. Oh no! We fell. What can we do here? Whoa. Oh! Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna generate a bunch of bridges. We need to have some plants, I know. So in here, what I want to do is it's going to be a little something special over here. So I guess we want to add a quad in here. Well, no, not exactly. We need to have a... We need to have a quad, and then we have to have a bridge. So you know what? I'm just going to create a map piece over here. Let's call it special map pieces. Special, I don't know. Not really special, but because we need a block here. No, it can't be special. What we need to do now is maybe I should have saved my bridge. Maybe I should have saved my bridge, but it's too late now. Huh? So in here we actually need to gen railing. No, maybe need that. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so I guess we need to have like 3 individual pieces over here. And then another piece over here. And then another piece over here. We don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. Yeah, yeah. Alright, so let's do that. Okay. So we need a quad here. So gen quad 1 by 1. It's a 1 by 1 quad. Yes, it will be will store slope information. No, it's not going to be a 1 by 1. And it's going to be at over here. 1280 by y value of 384. And then we want a piece over here, a map piece. Gen railing, I guess. Should it be railing? Should it be railing? Let's take a look at our railing in our map piece generator. You know what? I guess we want to Sorry about that. I guess we should have this public static method map piece gen single, and it's going to take in, hey, well, the size we know is this one. It's going to take in the int tile ID, and then float offset x and float offset y. So we got map piece. This is going to be tile ID dot original width tile ID dot original height. This is gen single, so this is going to be, well, size 1, we know it's 1. Piece region rex, we know it's only 1. And we know that piece regions 0 is equal to tile ID. Of course, we need to translate and return the piece, but we need the rectangle. Piece.region rex 0 equals new rectangle. Of course, it's going to be at 0, 0, with the width and height of our dot original width dot original height, and there we go. So we got gen single right here. Now we can use this gen single to generate one single piece. Oh, we needed that. We needed that. Oh, no, 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 no. I needed this. It is at 512, right? I'm talking about this one, by the way. So stupid. 384. And it is at 1280, right? Yes, it is. Okay, so in here we're going to get gen single. Which we know takes in the tile ID. So the tile ID is piece 11. Tile ID is piece number 11. We know that the offset is going to be over here. It's going to be drawn at this x, 1280. And it's going to be drawn at y value of 448. Okay. So we now have that gen piece. Single, I mean. And I guess we should save like maybe platform information, maybe? No, now we got to take care of the bridges. How are we going to implement the bridges? Just take a look here. Right, because this is what we want. And then we're going to insert a quad of type 32 width in here, but this is what we want. Grr. Okay, so what we want to do, only got one avenue. I'm gonna take you home tonight. You only have one avenue. Okay, so, alright. I know exactly what we need to do. Alright. Alright. So it's going to be very similar to blocks. As a matter of fact, we're going to go to map piece generator and copy gen quads. We're going to say gen bridge. Is it? Yeah. No, it can't be a filler, so forget this. We're going to have to say platform information because that's what a bridge is, you know. This is right. This is correct. Piece rect, not height. That is right. We only have a size, so, and an airplane is above me right now. Size, float offset x, and it's going to be int size. So we know that the what is this? This is 64 by 60. No, the height we know is 64. But since we know that we only have one bridge, and that is going to be piece 1, we're just going to say, well, tiles 1 dot original height, and this is going to be tiles 1 times the size dot original width. Now there is a parameter that we want to take in here. So I guess we want to have the option of, do we want to close the left, meaning do we want to pad the left with a with something, or not? Because if you look at over here, we pretty much asked the same question here. Right over here, do we want to pad the right with something or not? In this case, no. So what we're going to do is make two booleans. Boolean pad left, boolean pad right. Okay? Now, and we don't need this width type. What is this? So in GenBridge, so size plus, so this is the width, plus plus if pad left we're going to say int padding equals pad left. If so, it's going to be 32. Otherwise, it's going to be 0. Plus on the padding for the right. Okay, and this is the padding. Plus the padding right here. Okay. Now the platform information, what we're going to need to do so let's just make a comment here. 32 corresponds to piece 14. I mean, we could have just said piece 14 dot original width. That works too. But no, just longer lines of code. I don't like it. Okay, horizontal. We only have one platform, and that's the bridge. Now the sorry about that. We're always going to be so what we're going to do is we're always going to be starting off at the full over here. We're never going to start off at half of something. So what we're going to do is, instead of it being over here, we're going to say, okay, everything starts over here. Even if we're not going to pad this thing, it's going to start over here. Wait, does that make sense? If that's the way we're going to do it, then interesting. This is very interesting to me. If we're going to do it here, right, okay, all right. So this is where we're going to start generating the bridge, right over here on the left side. What we're going to need to do so x value, if there is no padding. So if there is no padding, we're gonna say that we start off at plus 32. So padding left, then it's going to be 32. Otherwise, it's sorry, if there's padding, it's 0. If there's no padding, it's 32. So if there is no padding, so there's no padding here, it's going to start at 22. If there is padding, it's going to start at 0. And the same deal with the right one. What? Oh shit, pad left, sorry. And sorry for cursing. And this is good enough. You shut up. And this is going to be piece.rect.width if there is padding. Sorry. Oh, yeah, so no, this is fine. This is fine. This is fine. This is so we asked the same question. In here, I mean, padding. Oh, no, in here. So we always start at 0, and since the width is going to be that, if there is no padding, so if there is padding, if there's padding, we're not going to do anything because we're going to return a 0. No, this is wrong. This is wrong. Yeah, you know what? For the map piece generator, Right here it doesn't matter. Just nope. Don't worry about that. This is good enough. Okay, since it doesn't really do anything, but you know, it's not a big deal. Piece rect dot width. Now, we're going to subtract if pad right. So if pad right, we're not going to subtract anything because we padded right. Otherwise, we subtract 32. Okay. And for the regions, this is going to be size. Forget the width type. Nope, it's a single for loop. So yeah, x is going to start at 0. To your left, everything. No, x is going to start at 32. These are the bridges. And the following are the paddings. Begridges. Nice. Size. We're going to I++, and plus equals the tiles 1 dot original width. Okay. And what we're gonna do is piece regions sorry guys. I is gonna be equal to whoa. Oh right, new rectangle, that's right. Piece region size is going to be equal to tiles 1. Okay. And new rectangle. Let's use this instead. Region rex I. New rectangle at x. Y is always going to be 0 because this is gen bridge, not a slope. The width is going to be dot original width and dot original height. And add in the padding. So if pad left, what we're going to do is piece regions size, if pad left equal to tiles 14 for the half block, and piece region rect is going to be a new rectangle. No, tiles 14. It's going to be at the same x. No, it's going to be at x equal to 0. This is left. And y equal to 0, that's right. And this is going to be size. Now, if pad right, oh geez, no. Uh-oh. So we actually have 3 cases? Shoot. Oh my god. Oh, you know what? Instead of the size, I think just say int c here. I like c, you know. Int c equals size. So what we're going to do is say, hey, c. And then we're going to C++. Ha! Look, a pun, C++. So now depending on whether there's a padding left or padding right, doesn't matter. If there's a padding right, I do exactly the same, well, not exactly the same thing. And we don't need C anymore. Tiles 14 still. Rectangle is not going to be 0 anymore. Height is still 0. However, the rectangle is going to be what? It's going to be the piece dot original width piece dot width, sorry, rect dot width minus 32. Okay, that is it. And you know what? There's no need for this. Just say it's 32. We know it's 32. I don't know what. All right. And now we're ready to go. Let's check it out. So bridges. Let's take a look here. So our bridge is going to start over here at x equal, well, first is gen bridge. Dot gen bridge. We do want to pad left, but we don't want to pad right. What? No, there is no width type. Stupid. The size is going to be what? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bridges. The offset x is going to be over here, which is at x equal to 128. Offset y is equal to c. 1344. It's true. Okay, now we have the bridges. Ha 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 ha. Oh, unless it's gen quad over here. Right over here. Okay. So we have another columns. So say Mappy's generator, quads true. It's going to be of type 1. Columns is 1. However, how many rows do we need? I'm talking about here, by the way. This one. So I'm just going to copy. Whoops, no. Right there. So that's how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14. So 7. 7 by 7, baby. So I'm pretty sure I've done this already. I don't know what. Have I not yet done it? I said this one is 14, but meh, that's okay. Yeah, it is 14. Sure. We're not going to break it up. I'm feeling lazy. I'm feeling lazy. We should probably break it up, but nah, it's freaking lazy. And yeah, it's going to be the same height, yes, as that, right? 400 something. Oh my god, seriously. 1152. That is 448, that's right. X value is gonna be b, gonna be. Oh, it's gonna extend all the way down here. Nah, but we're not gonna do that. X value is what do we have here? Here to here. Okay. It is at 1472. Where is it? 1472 right here. And height of still there. Good. And now we need another one for this bottom one over here. Alright. This bottom one is gonna be almost the same exact thing. How many does it need? It needs 1, 2, it needs 3. So it's going to be a 1 by 3. Same there, but different y value. Y value is going to be 14, which is 192. Okay. And now we just generate. We just want to generate a single bridge over here. So gen bridge size of 1. So this is false because we already have a single quad over there. False. Size of 1 and x offset of 1472 and y offset of 384. And there we have it. We are done. So this is for our map piece right here. One map piece, which is pretty crazy. It's just a lot of lines of code. And we have a null pointer exception. Ah, that's right, that's right. No. I haven't packed it in yet. I haven't packed in the new one modified the better one. And let me just copy and paste the thing over here because I'm OCD. Whoops. Okay. And again, I did add a padding over here. Right, this is what it looks like, baby. Yeah. All right. Let me just repack it. Oops. I meant to say main. And there we have it. Pack them all. And we're done. So we have some room for more. Now the energy force is going to take up probably this face, this much space, and then a few more monsters and a few more pieces. So yeah, our final width and height might be 248 by 1024. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Let's close this for now because, well, no. I think I want to generate some plants up here with gen single. But first let's check it out. Let's check KungFu Nekko Android assets texture. Okay. Project and clean. Run history main. And we're getting an index out of bounds exception at Gen Bridge. C is equal to the size. I'm very stupid. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Okay. So what's happening here is we don't know if we have some padding or not. So what we're going to need to do for our regions I right here is size plus, so pad left, because we added some padding. If we added some padding, we're going to add 1, otherwise add 0. And we're going to do the same thing here if we padded right. Okay, and now we shouldn't be getting an index out of bounds exception. Alright. And now there's no enemies. Whoa, what the fuck? I'm sorry for my profanity, but there was supposed to be a bridge over here. Where'd the bridge go? Where'd the bridge go? I think I misplaced the bridge. Let's check it out. Bridges. Gen bridge. Pad left? No. Pad right? No. Size is 1. Float offset X, float offset Y. So what's wrong with this? Let's go to our gen bridge here. No pad, no pad. This is very interesting. Anyways, let's go on to our KF Nekko. We want to spawn. Let's try spawning at really high location. Let's spawn at 1,700. We should spawn somewhere above, right over here. Perfect. Whoa, no. What the hell? I fell. And there is supposed to be a bridge over here. Definitely supposed to be a bridge. I don't know where it is. Hey, what the can I? There's a problem here. You saw that, right? You saw that. Let me just make my jump height like really high for debugging purposes. I want to make my jump height 1,500 or just 1,200. Jump height, run history main. So I want to fall down. Hey. Oh, no. Okay. So you saw that there's a problem over there. Look, it doesn't look right. Ah, it doesn't look right. Oh, okay, I got it. I got it. So in our map use generator, when we're generating the bridges right over here, our x is not always going to be 0. As a matter of fact, it's not 0. It's supposed to be 32. There we are. Now if we run it, it should be good. There we go. And I don't know why the thing is missing over there. We're supposed to have a padding right over here, right? Remember? Oh, we do have it. But the texture is just not being drawn. It's supposed to be drawn. 1 second. What is the height of this thing? The bridge. Height of the bridge is 64. That's right. Woo! Sure you can. Ah! Jumping so fly, so high. But at least now, it's good. Okay. But here we're missing the texture over here. If pad left, region C equals tiles 14. Which is what? Right over here. And it's going to start at 0, 0. At 0, 0, because we did say pad left. And this is very interesting. Why is this not working the way I want it to work? Sorry guys, I'm just trying to think. You know what? I'll pause the video here and I'll be back once I figure out the solution.